Well, greetings everyone, and welcome to another video. This video brings me down here to the Parker Ford area again, and if this parking lot that you see where I'm at here looks familiar, well, yeah, it is. I was here in September with RJ, and we rode our scooters on a new section of the Schuylkill River Trail, which is right over my shoulder there, which is the old Pennsylvania Railroad line. We rode from here all the way up to the bridge on 422 and back. But I am back down here again in the wintertime to explore the trail once again. There's two things I want to look for today on this trail, and one is a spur that went off of the Pensy line here and went across the Schuylkill River over into Royersford, or not Royersford, Linfield rather, and went to a bottling company over there, I believe is where it went to. The bottling company was serviced by two railroads. It was serviced by the Pennsylvania Railroad and was also serviced by the Reading Railroad, which is now the Norfolk Southern, but that's on the other side of the river. So I want to see if I can find the spur over here that goes from the line here and across the river, and I'll put a picture up here of an old aerial photograph of the bridge that went across the river and everything. I think it was built sometime in the late 40s or 50s from the picture that's there. I checked an older aerial photograph from back in the 30s, and the bridge was not there. But it is long gone by now, but at least I want to at least see if I can find the spur that branched off this line here. And I also want to check out and see if I can locate another waste clean out for the Schuylkill Canal, the Girard section actually, which is what went through this area. But somebody had alerted me that this time of the year you can actually see this stone wall where this clean out was, and that's further up the trail again past Frick's Lock. So I'm going to ride the scooter up there and see if we can locate both those things, and if we have time we're going to venture down the trail here towards Spring City and Royersford, since I haven't explored that part yet, and see if we can find anything interesting along there too. So I got the scooter with me. I needed to get it out and run it. It's been a while since I ran it and everything, so we'll see how it holds up here in the colder temperatures as far as the battery and everything, and see how my cameras hold up too, determine how long I'm going to do exploring today. So let's get you mounted on the scooter and we're going to head on down the trail. So yes, it is a little cold on the scooter today, but figured I'd get out here while it's semi-decent, because they want real cold weather over the weekend, down with the wind chills in like single digits. So figured I'd get out here while I can and try and find these places on the trail that I want to look for. So there is also another desilting basin over here that I'm going to be exploring at some point too, that somebody had told me about. And it is the Linfield desilting basin, or the Linfield impounding basin, which is now the Linfield Preserve, which is very similar to the Saratoga desilting basin, and it's right down from the Saratoga desilting basin. So at some point here, I'm going to be venturing over to that basin there and exploring that to see if I can find another weir there. And there's another one down in Phoenixville that I will be going and checking out at some point, and I'm pretty sure there's going to be a weir at that one. But don't know when I'm going to get to making those videos yet. So I'm not quite sure where this spur is, or if I passed it. because it is a little tricky to find. But just looking here, I don't think I'm at it. But right here in front of me is something interesting that wasn't here when I was here in September with RJ, but there is some form of concrete foundation there to something. I'm not quite sure what that would have been for. Alright, so just walking over here and looking inside, not quite sure what this would have been for, because there's some cutouts right there. There's cutouts in the back. I don't know if this was some kind of little station here or something for somebody with the crossing that was here, because right here is the trail and everything. But very interesting foundation here. I'm just curious as to what this was for. It doesn't look like it would have been for a water tower or anything from the looks of it. But don't know if there were steps in the back of it there or not. So yeah, that was something we definitely did not see when we were here in September. So it's always nice to come back in the winter time if you get a decent day, that you can explore and look for things that you missed because of everything being green and grown in. And despite it being the middle of the week and cold out, there are a lot of people on this trail today. More than I expected. This guy's got the right idea in front of me here, on a skateboard with his dog, letting his dog pull him. Got some interesting things off to the right there, which I'll get that on my way back. When me and RJ were there exploring that road that went into Frickslock Village with that bridge that was there, you can really see it good now from the trail in the wintertime when there's no leaves on the trees. I got a bunch of puppies up here walking. There you go, Matt. It's not a video without a dog. And coming straight ahead of us is going to be that railroad bridge that I filmed too in September, which you'll be able to see it real good now in the winter time. That bridge that went over the Schuylkill Canal. So there is a look at the bridge, which is real plainly visible now in the winter time, and then right down here you can see the old Schuylkill Canal right here, which you couldn't see in the summertime. But you can't make out all the tires that are under that bridge that RJ filmed when he was back there. But there are definitely a bunch of tires under that bridge. There's certainly a lot of junk in the canal, which I'll show you on the way back. We'll stop along here. You can see all the junk that's in there, and looks like there's a boat over there, and that's a shame. So somewhere in here is where this waste cleanout is supposed to be, that I'm supposed to look for. Just don't know exactly where it is, but it's somewhere in this area. And I just located it. So right over there where my finger is, you can see the stone structure, but we're not going to venture over there because that's private property. But right over in there is the clean out for the canal, and the canal is literally right here in front of me. Actually, the trail crosses over the canal and goes down through, but that's what I was looking for, and that's what somebody had told me about, that there was another waste clean out here, and it was a stone structure. So I found that, which is pretty cool. Alright, so we are down here at Towpath Park, and I believe this is where we're going to turn around and head back, because I didn't see anything really interesting along the way down here to stop. Up there you can see the remains of the canal again. And I missed this when I came through here before, but one of my early videos when I was on the other side of the river over there filming the railroad bridge, here's one of those markers for that abandoned transcontinental cable line that was part of the AT&T Long Lines network, or Bell Telephone Long Lines network, that was part of the Cold War era, but is now abandoned. But you can't see them, but down there they have a sign, and there's one way over on the other side of the river over there. They have a signs there marking cable crossing, so they know not to, if they would ever dredge the river in that area, they know not to dredge there, because they'll be digging up the cable that's buried there. But it doesn't really matter anymore because it's abandoned, and they are no longer using that coax cable that's buried underground here. And then the right-of-way for it would continue on right up through there. Right here in front of me is the old canal, And if you look right over there where my finger is, I find it funny that, yeah, there's a boat in the canal. But it's not a barge or anything. It looks like somebody dumped it there, because if you look around, you can see a bunch of junk along there. But I just find it ironic that there's a boat in the canal. So I stopped at this bridge here, and there's the bridge abutments for the bridge that went over the railroad here into Frickslock. But right through the trees there, you can see the that stone culvert that me and RJ checked out when we were here in September. Couldn't see it from the trail, but it is really visible now. So we are making our way back to the parking lot. The only thing I did not find yet is the spur going off this line that went over into Linfield, but we may find it yet on the way back. There's something interesting that I'm seeing along here too, but it won't show up on the video that great for me to stop. But all along the left side here are cement posts in the ground. It looks like it was for fencing at one time. Looks like they had cement posts with metal rails in it. Not quite sure if that would have been for a farm around here or what, but there's a bunch of them along the left side. So straight over in the distance there, you probably can't see them, but maybe if I zoom in, you'll be able to. There you can see the water towers right there for the bottling plant that was over there in Linfield on the other side of the river. So I'm pretty sure that spur that I'm looking for is just down the trail here, not too far from where I'm at. So hopefully I'll be able to find it. And lo and behold, I found it. Although probably not that much, probably not going to be able to see that much of it because it's now a tree line. But we'll pull over here and I'll show you what I'm looking at. Alright, so here's the railroad ties, and if you look right back through there, it's not that great with the everything overgrown, because it is heavily overgrown here. But this right here is the spur that went over to that plant there. You can see a little bit of it, how it's raised up there, but this is it. So it does exist, but all it is anymore is a tree line. Yeah, even walking in the weeds here, it's real thick, but you can at least see it right along here. You can see how the railroad bed is raised up, but can't get any better views of it because it is just too thick in here and overgrown. But It's just a tree line now. Through the weeds over there too, I can see a bunch of railroad ties laying, but it's not turning out that good for the video here. But there are railroad ties laying in there, proving that it was a railroad bed. And I also did take a drive back Anderson Road, back to where the Sanatoga, or not the Sanatoga, but the Linfield County Preserve, where that other desilting basin is, to see about finding a parking space. And it goes right from public land to a private driveway, and there's only room to get one car parked by the gate, and somebody was already there, and I'm not sure if it was a homeless person that's camped out there or what. So at some point I'm going to have to come back and try and get in there and see if I can walk around that basin back there, see if I can find another weir. But since I got plenty of battery left on the scooter and the cameras, we're going to venture on the other side of the parking lot here, on to explore more of this rail trail here that I haven't explored yet. So we'll continue on until the batteries start getting low on the scooter. So this part of the trail here, this section right here where we're at, is not part of the railroad. The railroad's actually to the right there where that fence is, but got turned over to the property owner, and I guess the property owner did not want the trail going through their backyard, so they had to bypass the property. Somewhere around here is the canal again. I think it might be to my left here, but I'm not quite sure. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's to my left, but ain't gonna be able to get to see anything with it because it's private property. I've seen pictures of this bridge before too. I think there's some black and white photos circulating on the internet of this bridge here for this road that went across. Come to think of it, I think I might be at the old Penhurst property, but you can't see it because of the cutout here, because that bridge there is no longer used. It's all fenced off, and there's a bunch of fence to my right. So I may just be at the property. Yep, we are definitely at Penhurst. Off to my right here, which I'll stop and get pictures of, is the old boiler room. I stopped back there to take a video of all the geese on the water and brought up my map. I didn't even realize it. Lost track just riding and taking in the scenery. I am in Spring City. Didn't even realize it. So there should be another spur going off of this railroad. There should be another bridge here somewhere that goes across the Schuylkill River, which we won't have access to or anything. Yes, we do. Which is right there. And it looks like they are right there. And it looks like they are rehabbing that bridge, which is a good sign. So at some point we will be able to cross over that bridge. And I'll zoom in on it for you. We will be able to go across that bridge and get into Royersford, which is right on the other side of the river. So I'm glad to see that they're going to repurpose that bridge. And then right here in front of me is some railroad remains. Looks like there's a old electrical box right there for the railroad. So we will venture down here a little bit further and get to Main Street, and then we're going to turn around and head on back up the trail again. So here we are coming up on East Bridge Street, which is the main drag that will take you across from Spring City to Royersford. Not a bad drive today. Did not realize I was this far down. That's what happens when you get on a scooter and you just start riding. And if you can see it through the trees there, you can see the trestle that went across over into Royersford over there from the railroad here, and actually met up with the old Reading line, which is now the Norfolk Southern line over there. So again, I'm glad to see that they're working on that bridge and working on repurposing it for use of the trail here. So on our way back, and if you look in the distance there, you can see the smokestack for the boiler or steam plant for the Penhurst Asylum, which I'll stop and get pictures of that and show you that as close as I can get without trespassing on the property. People think they're going to come down here to Pennhurst to do some paranormal investigations, but you get caught trespassing on that property. It's heavily patrolled and you will be arrested. But if you're not familiar with Pennhurst Asylum, just go on the internet and Google it. Lots of bad things happened at that hospital, the way patients were treated. And from the looks of it too, part of the property is used for PennDOT right now too. There's a PennDOT shed up here. Saw some PennDOT trucks sitting there. So you're not gonna get on that property there without being noticed. So there is the old boiler plant or steam plant for Pennhurst, but you can still see inside there. You can see the boilers and everything are still intact inside, but all the windows are blown out in it, and it is heavily posted. And right there is the PennDOT yard. So I would not advise coming down here to explore this building, because you will get arrested. But that's as close as we can get to it. And as far as the rest of the asylum, I don't believe you can get that close to it either from other roads. And I can't put the drone up down here either, because it is too close to the Limerick power plant. And one thing I want to point out too, straight off in the distance in that field, that is one of the other desilting basins that they use to dredge the Schuylkill River. But unfortunately, we can't go back to that one either, because this is all private property all along here, and it is heavily posted. So that basin is not on any public land. That's all private property over there. So unfortunately, I won't be able to get to or be able to explore that basin. And I passed this on my way down here, but I was going to wait till I came back to check this out. But this is a benchmark for whatever reason. They use them for surveyor marks. The USGS or something like that has them, but that one's marked Pico. It looks like 1976 is the date on it. And if you are a geocacher, you can go and actually mark these benchmarks and get credit for finding one. Probably would have to, the reason it's marked Pico is probably because of the tower lines going through the area here from the power plant, because this is all Pico lines through here. and I was coming up through and I just spotted something out of the corner of my eye. And it's a shame I'm not going to be able to get any closer to it, but there is Lock 57 of the canal, and that is in pristine shape yet. So this was Lock 57, also called the Girard Outlet. So this emptied out into the Schuylkill River, which is right there. That is so neat. Wonder if I can get closer to it somewhere else. That would be so nice to get pictures of it. I can't believe the condition that's in. Glad I stopped. So I did walk around a little bit further around that lock, and unfortunately I can't get any closer to it. They do have no trespassing signs up, which is a shame because that lock is in great condition yet. And there's one of those concrete structures or foundations to something that I passed on my way down here. Not quite sure what that was for. There's also one up here too that I'll show you. Not quite sure what they were used for, but definitely a foundation with something, and it's got some steel there at the base. Not quite sure what they were for. And then here's the other one, and that's actually got, looks like rebar in there. So I don't know if this had something to do with the railroad or what, but no clue as to what that could possibly be. So the railroad bed actually continues on right through there where the tower line is, but they had to bypass it because there you can see the fence that we're coming up on. That the I guess the property owner didn't want the trail that close to their house. So I got about a half mile left till we're back at the parking lot again. And it's a good thing because the sun's starting to go down and it's starting to get a lot colder on this scooter. But despite it being cold out, I'm surprised this battery held up as good as it did. Alright, so hopefully you enjoyed that ride there along the Schuylkill River Trail, again down here in the Parker Ford area, the area that I explored already, and the new section all the way down to Spring City. Can't believe I rode down there that far and only went through half a battery on the scooter. One thing I want to point out too, over my shoulder, which you can't see it and it's private property, that is Lock 56 of the Schuylkill Canal is behind me, just on the other side of those trees. But unfortunately the lock's not there anymore, but the lock house is, but you can't see it from the road or anything because it's on private property, so we won't be able to get to see that. But anyway, if you did enjoy the video, please give it the thumbs up. Also, if you're new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button down there. And you can also ring the bell down there and be notified when I upload new content to YouTube. And again, thank you to all the new subscribers that found the channel recently. Hopefully you're enjoying it and the content that I'm putting out there. So until next time, it's have a ball and do it all. We'll see you soon.